Hey, good night. It's Thursday. It is the best day of the week. Thursday nights. You guys know it's our time to talk to you about what is happening in the digital world. Bring to you guys some tips, strategies, some new things for you guys to help you get your business going. If tonight is your very first time tuning in with me, I just want to say thank you. You guys could be anywhere else in the world, logged into anything else, but you guys are here with us tonight. And tonight, I know I kind of say this every week, but tonight we have a real goodie, because the importance of the topic happening tonight is crucial. So, welcome to the digital age. It's your boy, your host, Keron Rose. And let me tell you, I just want to thank all of you guys for tuning in. So you guys know how we do. You guys know how we kick everything off. Let's see who's in the chat tonight. Well, LinkedIn user. Oh, yes. You guys forget. Tonight's the first night we are live on LinkedIn. They finally let your boy inside. I've been applying for months, and they just wouldn't let me in, but they let me in the other day. So who else we got in here? We got Warrior Alexander. Hey, good night. Josan Jack. Hello. Good night. Lyndon, what's going on, brother? Celise, I swear Celise has been live every episode. I love it. Thank you, Celise, for tuning in. We got Kevin Charles in here tonight. We got Planet L, Laurencia. Hey, good night. If you guys notice, we are live across multiple platforms. We got LinkedIn people inside. We got YouTube people inside. We got Facebook people inside. I swear technology is such a beautiful thing. So let me know that you guys are in here tonight. Let me know if you are from the Caribbean, if you're from the US, if you're from Canada, the UK. Let me know in the comments where you guys are tuning in from tonight. You guys know what we need. We need energy. I need to see you guys here. Let me know that you guys are here, because listen, the information and what is going to be presented to you tonight is going to be huge. It's going to be huge. It is going to allow you to do some amazing things. And you see right now, with COVID, coming out of nowhere and mashing up the entire Caribbean, I don't know about you, but I've been a little hesitant to go outside. Anybody that needs to do business with me, please, you have all my digital platforms to kind of engage with. Right? And I can't wait to see you guys in person. But listen, right now it's getting hectic. And if you guys are here in Trinidad, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. So let me know in the comments where you guys are from. Daffy, good night. We got Joy, good night. Quintessential Language Learning, blessings. How are you doing? Jan, we got live from Antigua. We got Atlanta in the building. Sorry. How are you doing? But Guyanese heritage, I love it. Listen, this is beautiful. So, without taking up too much more time, right? I want to bring in the guests for tonight's episode. You guys keep on coming. Let me know that you guys are here. The guest for tonight's episode is somebody who, from the minute the idea of the Digital Age series came about, he called and said, hey, we need to be there. We need to be inside. There is no way you're starting that journey and we are not walking side by side with you. And it is one of our official sponsors of the entire series. The man is the CEO of Webgold and Buzz. Let us welcome to the stage, the Digital Age stage, Mr. Stephan De Roche. Good night, brother.
Good night, Keron. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are things with you?
Not too bad, not too bad. A lot of work today to get everything ready, but we're here and it's all ready, so we're good.
Listen, man, I just want to thank you for coming out and sharing some time with us because if there is, if there are people in the Caribbean right now who you have to really hunt and beg for some time because you guys are so busy because of what you do, you are definitely one of those guys. You've been busy.
Yeah, I think COVID made us super busy. So we were busy before, but COVID has accelerated our growth, but also to our resolve in getting these solutions out to people across the markets. So it's good, and we have some solutions here that we're gonna launch very soon. And I think it's exciting because you get to kind of showcase it first. That first touch.
Well,
So it's
it's
good,
it's it's only right you did it on the digital age, so
definitely. You
perfect.
know.
So, Steph, what we're gonna do is we are going to quickly kick off this episode with the intro to the digital age, and then we're gonna jump right into everything. All right, Steph?
Good stuff. Let's do it.
Cool. Let's drop it. All right. So, Steph, all right. So, what we're going to do, because I'm seeing a lot of new faces live, is we're going to let everybody know how the program works, right? So,
Right.
I like to give everybody a breakdown of what to expect in the episode. So, you guys know what we're going to be kind of diving into. So, the tail of the tape. Is it in the bottom right hand? It's the bottom left hand corner. Well, you guys know. It's my right. Yeah, my right. So, tail of the tape. First thing we're going to be diving into is we're going to be talking about Webgold, Buzz, and e-commerce. We're going to be talking about the solutions that Stephan has brought out, his insights on the industry from the Caribbean and Latin America. That's going to be, listen, interesting because anytime me and Steph get to talking about e-commerce, I always learn and I'm always amazed at some of the things that I learn in a conversation with him. You guys are going to get that live. The second thing that we're going to be doing is tonight is the premiere of some new Buzz solutions. We are going to be getting a live demonstration, right? You're going to be seeing it here first before it hits the market. And let me tell you, Steph has sat me down multiple times to show me the progress of these. Are we doing two platforms today? Or are we doing one platform?
Probably one platform.
All right, so we're doing one platform today to tease you guys, right? And again, it's going to be a crucial thing because it is going to allow you to move away from a traditional website. So if you have been, crying crocodile tears because you're like, I don't have the money to go and hire a developer. I don't want to spend the time to learn how to do things in WordPress and some of the other platforms, Wix, Squarespace. I don't have the proper payment solutions to get paid properly here in Trinidad. Listen, this is going to be a game changer for you guys. And what we're going to do is at the end of all of that, we're going to dive into the Q&A session. We're going to take questions from social media and we're going to take questions from the live audience and we're going to throw it to Steph and we're going to get your questions answered. So, Steph, are you ready?
Yeah, I think I'm ready.
All
Can't be
right.
more ready than this. So let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, perfect. So, let's get my ticker up there and let us start my clock. Okay, so Steph, first things first, give us a little bit of a background of what is Webgold, what is Buzz, what are these companies about?
Okay, sure thing. So Webgold is our primary company, and we typically, like any other development company, we build websites, applications, mobile and otherwise, for a myriad of different companies. So we work with a lot of small businesses, medium businesses, and of course, as some people might know, we work with a lot of large businesses. So that would lead us into like maybe finance, hotels, that type of industry. So we work around, this kind of range of businesses that are, we're not just this, small business worker, large, we into everything, and we also into
Right.
almost every sector. So when you think about WebGold and you think about sectors, every sector we're pretty much in, and everybody who's a business, big or small, we probably touch them in some way. And when it comes to what we've been doing over the past few years, we've been really working hard at building payment solutions and working with our partners to build integrations on the sideline of what our core services are.
Right.
So, a lot of people, I guess they work with different, they have different banks, and they would probably, interface with banking websites on a daily basis, but they would
Right.
not necessarily know that, behind most of those interfaces is WebGold. Um,
Mm.
the Caribbean, maybe in some cases in Latin America. So
Right.
we're working banking and financial institutions across the region
Right.
and powering their websites and their applications. And we're actually building custom applications for some of these banks to empower them probably to make more money, in
Right.
some ways. And, you know, they have to make money to pay us. So, and
Right.
then also to we're working with them to help them become more efficient. So maybe on the back end, we're working to build tools that improve their efficiency and help reduce their expenses and to help them to plan and grow, and sort of expand in their market, in their
Right.
market area. So
Right.
so basically, WebGo builds applications, and we focus on, helping people to achieve their goals by doing two things.
Mm-hmm.
One, by helping them to save money down the line, and
Yeah.
two, by helping them to make money. And so, I mean, it's
Right.
all good if you can help somebody to make money, but if you could also help them to save money as well, I think
They'll
that's
pay you
sort of
more.
unique capability.
Yes.
Um,
What are some of the popular, I guess, customer facing integrations that you guys offer at WebGold that people would have probably seen you guys or know you guys for?
So in terms of integrations, I mean, we are, we're partners with a lot of companies. We're partners actually with a lot of banks, and then number two, we're partners with a lot of payment service providers, as well as we're partners with a lot of payment platforms. So we're
Right.
Shopify partners. We're working with Magento. We're working with WordPress. We've been working with WordPress for the past few years, and so some of the most popular products that we would have seen in the market would obviously be like the Shopify and the WooCommerce, which is from WordPress,
Right.
as are the two dominant platforms in terms of e-commerce around the globe.
Right.
And of course, we're also partners with First Atlantic Commerce, and we develop a lot of their official plugins.
Right.
And we have a great relationship with them. And I think, we work in a sort of there's a sort of a synergy between us and the different banks that we work with as well that allow us to really help businesses to get online really fast and to kind of, with COVID and all, to kind of bridge that gap from, being stuck in a sort of a bad place
Yeah.
to getting out of that bad place and getting into a good place and getting your business online. So basically allowing people to pivot really. And sometimes that pivot can be difficult
Yeah.
because people, maybe there's a technology gap, maybe there's a knowledge gap. And
Mm-hmm.
and so, we kind of work on all ends to help bridge those gaps and to allow businesses to kind of catch themselves, find themselves, and then deliver their best self
Yes.
online as a business and as a brand. And that's some of the things that we do at WebGold.
Perfect. So let's dive right into the realm of e-commerce. This is usually one of our favorite conversations to really talk about, given the how crucial e-commerce has really just come of age in the region. Now, what I want to know and what I want to dive into is, do you feel like the Caribbean has been lacking behind a region like Latin America when it comes to e-commerce adoption and small to medium businesses really embracing the digital age?
Well, I think it depends on let's say if we're comparing it to Latin America, it depends on the countries because some countries are really advanced and then some are still, a bit behind. But I think overall there are a lot of great developments coming out of Latin America. There are a lot of amazing web designers, application designers, as well as a lot of amazing tools. And you have a lot of large platforms, but because we actually don't really, maybe we don't hear about them or we don't deal up too much, I would say, as small businesses in building partner relations in a foreign country like that. Maybe, maybe there's a language barrier. We don't
Right.
really get to hear about some of these amazing platforms and some of the technology that they're building and some of the
Right.
larger businesses around the globe that recognize them. So, for example, I know there's Mercado Libre, which is a large platform. They've been around for many years. PayPal has invested in them, and they're doing an amazing thing in the in Latin America. And then
Yeah.
probably about maybe I would say over 10 countries, probably Argentina, Brazil, Costa Rica, probably going all the way up to Mexico, I believe. I could be
Yeah.
wrong with Mexico, but they're doing a lot of great things. They're a huge platform, and they have a lot of payment services, payment integrations, financial partners. And
Right.
so that's one example of, what I would say a progressive e-commerce platform that has managed to build and carve out their own space and,
Right.
seek investment from foreign, companies and so forth. And,
Right.
I think Caribbean, you know, our market is a bit diverse. And as you go to smaller islands, you find that, the commerce really happens from a tourism standpoint. So you're not going to see a
Right.
lot of e-commerce platforms like what you might see in these other markets where maybe retail takes center stage. If you're in a smaller island, maybe tourism takes center stage. That being said, we've been very slow to see growth in payment services that facilitate some of these hotels. And for example, I think if I just check my stats, I know just recently a few, even of the larger branded hotels that are
Yeah.
international, just acquired payment services, maybe from us and other people, to start accepting payments online. And I could only assume it's because of COVID, you know?
It's safe to say it's because of COVID. So
Yeah.
what do you feel like has really slowed the progress of e-commerce throughout the Caribbean region? Because I mean, the technology is there. It is proven, but you just don't hear the conversations happening. You don't really see businesses adopting the technology. So what do you feel like has really slowed the progress of e-commerce and digital payments throughout the Caribbean?
So I think there are a couple different factors that cause that slowing in the market in terms of where we should be versus where we are right now. And sometimes those gaps I think are, for example, education and the lack of availability of information.
Yeah.
And that could be starting from and I'm not going to point fingers, but it starts from, for example, the banking side where people are trying to figure out, how do I accept these payments, get it into my bank account?
Yes.
Or it could be from the side of, how do I build this website and get people to buy? And
Right.
and then even stuff, I set up my website. There are so many other factors I have to consider because people sell this dream that I'm going to build this website for you and you're going to sell online and then all the customers are going to just come in droves and my digital shelf is going to be sold out and then the rest of the dream is and you're going to be rich.
Yeah.
So
But that's what we see on Instagram. That is what we see on social media. Start
yeah.
a online business and, location freedom. You work from the beach, you sip mojitos all day, and you get paid. That's the dream that we see.
Well, the developers get paid, so I
Ah.
mean they build this and
Yeah.
and the thing about it is that some of the other factors involved is just that, I think the pace that we move is just not, it is not the pace that we should be moving at. So when I say
Right.
that, I mean like, everything is pretty much laid back in the Caribbean. So if you try
Yeah.
to apply for something today, you're probably going to get a response maybe in a day or two. Even if you try to reach out to somebody to get a product, you're probably going to get a response in a day or two.
Right.
So if we're moving at that pace and then the customer expectation from an international standpoint is faster, we're unable to adapt to that pace of commerce, of digital commerce, then I think, we're going to be kind of slowed in our efforts to meet the expectations of the digital customer. And
Right.
that's why we get these kind of things like, oh, well, I buy from Amazon because, I'm not going to get it
Trust
in
them.
2 days.
Yeah.
And, I buy it in Trinidad and it still takes me like 3 days. Why? You know?
Right. Right.
So
Right.
we have these expectations that are grand. And then also to even with the payment side, I can sign up for a PayPal account and I don't need any banking information. Why do I need to, have a business bank account? Or why do I
Talk
need
about
this?
it. Talk about it.
So these are some of the reasons. And then, people also kind of make up their own excuses for why they aren't able to go online. And the reality of it is that tools over the years have made it very easy for people to go online. So you have tools like Squarespace and Wix, just saying go online, not saying sell online. And
Right.
these tools are really great because they allow the non-technical person to simply just build based on a sort of a template and a framework and get
Right.
a presence. Now, in
Right.
terms of selling, of course, as
That's where our
education
issues
goes,
are.
you start to learn that maybe those tools aren't the best ones for connecting your payments.
Yes.
And and so when we start talking about e-commerce and digital payments, really knowing where to go and having the right, the pathway and the right instructions from the different parties involved, that be it WebGold, be it Buzz, be it another provider, and be
Yep.
it the bank that you're going to move your money to,
Right.
they need to have like a sort of clear pathway of where do I start first
Yeah.
to get to the end result. And you
Yeah.
normally have to start with figuring out how you're going to get your money, not how your website looks and all those things. Because
So
there are
you
people who solve
go
that for
ahead.
you.
You got to
So
think
that's what,
payments first.
yeah, you got to think about where you're going to get your money from, where your money's going to go when you get it.
Yes, that's a very
You know,
good point. Like I know for me, like when I moved here, um, we have so coming from like Canada, the U.S., the U.K., we have a mindset of because it's working in Canada, U.S., U.K., it is the same everywhere you go. So when I
yeah,
moved here, my biggest culture shock was, what do you mean there's no PayPal in Trinidad? I thought PayPal was international. What do you mean you can't receive money? Like how does this not if it's international, how is it not here? I didn't know how to process that. And then
yeah,
when you're going online and we're Googling, you're not seeing no information. When you're hearing about merchant accounts, when you're hearing about taking payments online, you're going into the banks and you're speaking to a teller and saying, "Hey, I'm here to apply for a merchant account." The teller looks at you and says, "What on earth is a merchant account? Is that a savings account? Do you want
yes.
savings?" Right? So the lack of information is in 2020 insane to me. But what do you feel like needs to happen to create a sense of urgency to start onboarding more businesses in the Caribbean, to start
Honestly,
getting that mindset to think digital and adopt e-commerce and create a hybrid model?
this may sound a bit bad, but I probably think we need a second COVID, to be honest, Um,
Well, we have that. Well, we have that.
Exactly. The thing about it is that what I found is that even though we saw more interest in e-commerce as the market and the economy started to reopen, people started to go back to their usual way of doing things,
Right.
and the focus on e-commerce was kind of almost lost because it's like, oh, we have to do our stuff and our daily lives are already busy as it is. Where am I going to find time to fit in e-commerce?
Right.
So we really find that time when we actually have no choice, apparently. And we have to shift that mentality because the future of business is digital. We're seeing it all over the world where these retail outlets are shutting down, rents are getting more expensive, especially in Trinidad and Tobago. And the reality is that we can run a shop from our home with enough, with just a little bit of effort, and save a lot of money and
A
still
lot.
provide the same level of customer experience,
Yes.
and I mean, the majority of my shopping is done online, and it's such a convenient thing.
Yeah.
So we just need this sort of this push locally from the businesses, of course, one, and then the second thing is from the consumers. And once we have this sort of a push from both sides, as in more customers demanding that their businesses that they buy from go online, and
Right.
then of course more merchants saying, listen, this is just going to be the better way to work with us, and
Right.
it's going to work out better. And you always find that people who accept payments online as well tend to have better cash flows because it is more convenient to receive the money. So why
Right.
not? You know?
Right. Right. And with the advent of the banks now finally, well, Infolinks, I should say. Now with Infolinks, now with their deal with Visa and switching over from just the standard Links cards to the chipped Visa debit cards. And we know that the banks are going to be, we know Scotiabank has already done it. FCB is in the process. And I know the other banks are rolling theirs out and turning on the e-commerce side, even though it's a local e-commerce.
Yeah.
How big is that for our industry from a consumer perspective, but also from the business perspective?
Okay, I think it's tremendous, and It's tremendous because it provides a couple different things. And one is this added layer of security. So the bank switching from links to Visa is a great plus. I know two banks are out the gates already, and there's a third one that's going to be out the gates soon.
Yep.
And then I guess the others will follow. And so the added security is that you can now shop from home without having to leave your house and potentially get COVID. And then two, um, you now have a chip card with a PIN, which is a lot more secure than a mag strip card that you would have had before with the links. So the immediate plus is of course the security. And then of course you have that convenience factor of being able to swipe on any merchant that is supporting Visa. And so if I were a merchant, my first order of business would be to position myself. Because most every established retail organization that I go to has a links machine.
Yes.
Which means that, and most of the transactions that I see would either be cash or links.
Right.
Now we all know walking around with cash how risky that is, number one.
Yeah.
So we predominantly try to push people to digital, and then two, we all know how can be having this this old card, which is a mag strip, and with card skimmers and so forth, and even with the new card. So imagine not having to go and swipe your card or push your card into a terminal, but now you can do it from the convenience of your home. That added safety, So there are a lot of benefits, I think, coming out of it, and because of the penetration of links, it just makes it that much of an opportunity for businesses. And the second aspect, well, the third aspect of it that I didn't really add a third as yet, I think is that when we start selling online, the true value of it is the data that we are able to collect.
Yes.
It's data that you just don't get in a store, and you just never would get in a store. And you're able to process that data in real time, who is shopping, where they're shopping, what they bought, how do I actually increase my cart value, how do I reconnect with them and offer them deals, cross-sells and upsells. So
abandoned cart.
Exactly. And many times you go to grocery, you pick up something, you rest it back down.
Yeah.
And there's no way for a merchant to recover that.
Right.
To stop you at the exit and say, hey, I saw you picked up that bottle of rum, but how you drop it back?
Yeah.
So we could do those type of incentives with digital. So digital has a lot of benefits, and and our goal is to help people to move towards digital platforms for e-commerce and for managing the customer relationship. And which means that if you're able to sell online, you're able to manage a customer relationship. And you're able to do that effectively, you're going to have a better customer experience, which means that you're most likely also going to have better customer retention.
Yes. Yes.
So there's a lot of benefits.
So I have two questions left before we move on to our next segment when we get into the live demonstration. So I want to know, with a variety of Caribbean payment processes for us to choose from, right? If we are doing regional commerce or even countrywide commerce, should we be using PayPal, or is this a platform that is ultimately hurting us throughout the Caribbean?
Well, and I have some friends at PayPal, but this is how it is. PayPal is a great platform, and they've established themselves as a global financial tool and powerhouse. And if PayPal is fully supported and available in your country in this region, then I think it's a great option to use it, because a lot of people globally have PayPal and use it.
Right.
From a local standpoint, if it's supported partially, then you're running the risk of getting your funds stuck, number one. And number two, you're also running the risk of not being able to enjoy full e-commerce. And what I mean by that is you're going to have some form of a limit in how much money you can receive and move through your account, unless you have a fully supported business PayPal account.
Right.
So the little free accounts that everybody gets and try to link it to their bank account, there's a limit. But because most merchants are micro, they don't ever really see that limit. But as you sort of go and move into the next stage of commerce, you're going to reach this wall. So unless you want to keep your money outside or keep on loading it back to your Visa card, which is not always the best thing, I think you need to invest in a merchant account. and start doing things in a solid way. And the difference is that it allows you to access your money directly without third-party intervention,
Right.
pretty much next day.
Right.
And and that helps your business to grow because you're not waiting 30 days for a payout like with PayPal.
Yes, yes. I think one of the biggest challenges that I'm seeing more and more issues with is PayPal is really volatile throughout the Caribbean region. I'm seeing a lot of people where they have all of the same settings as me, so I can receive payments from PayPal into my local bank account, but then somebody else has the exact same setup and they're getting the error messages about it's not supported
Yeah.
in the region, it's violating government regulations. I had somebody reach out to me and said they had some serious a few $1,000s in US stuck in their PayPal account that they cannot get out because PayPal is not releasing those funds. So, as much as I think where PayPal really helps is if you have clientele outside of the Caribbean region, because a lot of companies can connect their bank accounts to PayPal and pay you
Right.
from the bank accounts without using like a company credit card. If you are
Yeah.
receiving money from outside of the region, I think it's a really good option. But then we run into the issue of, well, what if you set up your account and PayPal decides to wake up one morning and just say, yeah, we're not depositing the funds to your account, which has happened during
Correct.
COVID.
Yeah, so it's not just PayPal alone. I mean, this happens on other platforms. I've seen some people had some problems with PNA. There are other wallets that I have, and I was using a wallet once, and they just said, from next 30 days, we're not going to support your territory,
Wow.
and so you need to move your money out, and if you don't, it's just going to be locked in this vault.
Right.
And then about a month after they came back and said, oh well, we back on again. So it's like, what do you make me move my money for?
Right.
So you're gonna find this problem because you're using tools that have been built for other territories and there's no representation in this market. So then you have no one to go to that's really gonna say, well, I can help you. And that's a difference with using international platforms as well. If you don't have that local support, that local partner that is able to help you, then you're running into risks all the time. And
Right.
so I recommend, working with a local partner, working with a local bank as much as you can. And most times the friction is just with the application, to be honest. So just
Right.
get it done. Get the application filled out, apply for your account, and sign up. And if you don't want to go through all that process, then I mean, we could also still help you,
Right.
And if
Right.
you find it's taking too long, then you come to WebGold, you come to Buzz, and we can also fast track it, with our relationships.
You guys hear
So,
that?
let's help you all to get online and let's do it efficiently. And the reality is that we're pretty much onboarding, loads of merchants every single month along with
Right.
our partners. And we're working with about three payment gateways just in this region alone right now.
Right.
And so any of them that have integrations that are necessary, we're working with them. So, I mean, a lot of people just know us for Shopify and for WordPress, but we're also working with a couple other platforms that support other tools as well. You know?
Beautiful. So, last question before we move on is Steph, if you were starting a business today, what might that business be? Would it be a physical brick and mortar business? You're selling physical goods. Would it be a 100% digital business? Or would you go for a hybrid model, have an experience store and then do e-commerce?
So I think I'd run the route of going for a fully digital business. And when you think
Okay.
about it, many people who have had physical businesses, there are case studies on them actually, pivoting and transforming their physical business into a digital business solely. And also to the new model for the new entrepreneur is to really just leverage platforms and tools to generate revenue, um, and build partnerships and partner relations with those platforms. So, for example, you would have spoken about it, YouTube, but beyond YouTube, there's also partnership programs with Twitch. There are
Yes.
partnership programs with many other platforms. People have partnership programs with Pinterest, Instagram, you can be an Instagram partner, I'm sure. And literally, as you become, a big enough influencer, you actually have the ability to generate revenue in different ways. Of course, there are above the board ways, there's, below the board ways, but the reality is that there's money out there now that can come to you from just providing content, building an audience, and keeping your audience, happy and satisfied with the content that you provide. And the
Yes.
platform are going to pay you for that type of content. It doesn't mean it has to be, videos. It can be podcasts. You could be providing people with advice. You could be building ebooks. You could be building tutorials. And just a couple of days ago, we spoke to a guy who's thinking about putting his online lessons, his lessons online,
Right.
and building a sort of a membership. And you get access to all the different lessons and the new lessons that are added on a monthly basis. So
Right.
if I had to build a new business and start today, I would build a digital one because it would not require me having to invest in a physical store. I wouldn't have to invest in shipping,
Yep.
and that my money would come into my account literally in real time. And so that's really where I would go. It's like there's no options for me right now.
Yeah.
When I think about tomorrow, digital business. And for me, if I had to think about it, let's say I was a pastry chef, why
Yeah.
not build a channel and start sharing recipes and teaching people how to cook? And as I build my following, I can then start having premium access to maybe selected recipes.
Yes.
Maybe I have private online tutoring classes and so forth. And if you think about it, I mean, a company like Webgold, we're in about maybe 30 countries,
Right.
you know, and we're generating foreign currency and bringing it back home, all digitally.
Right.
So can't other businesses, think about how can they monetize and churn something that may be a passion if you're just an individual or a small business or micro business starting out,
Yeah.
or even if you're already an established business. And maybe you invest in digital channels that provide a certain added value to your customer base, and then after that, that added value turns into a loyal following that starts to pay you back in terms of maybe subscriptions or requests for customizations and things like that. Yeah.
Beautiful. When I look at my own example, like when I started Droid Island started off as a blog. So I was just strictly blogging, educating people about the technology, smartphones, specific to the Caribbean region. And the call came to me to start selling the products. So I already had the audience before I started to invest in product. Now, when I decided, you know what? I want to build this experience store. I have the knowledge, I have the expertise. I want to build an experience store. That store costed a whole lot of money. But then within 6 months, I closed down the store because I started to monetize content. And what really messed me up was getting paid some serious money for a 2-minute video. And it's all yours because it's your IP. And it just got me thinking, why am I putting out 20 grand a month on having a physical footprint, and then you have to bring the products in, you got to do with customs, you got to stock it. Your brick and mortar is cash intensive and it's upfront. When the minute I decided to close the store down and focus on my content and switch my model of the phones from brick and mortar to drop shipping, where I get paid up front and then I have the products delivered, all of a sudden now that business model costed me less than 500 TT to start. And I've
Correct.
never looked back.
So to add to that, I mean, I remember that might have been about maybe 10 years ago. I decided to invest in an online website, and what I was doing, I was basically selling an ebook. And I
Right,
remember when I first started, it probably cost me like about $3,000 US.
right,
And so that's fair price. And what we were doing is basically selling people a guide on how to fix something. I
right,
won't go into the details, but when we started off, even my parents were like, what are you really doing out here spending this kind of money on a website? It was
yeah,
like 10 years ago, and people weren't really spending a lot of money on websites in those days. I probably couldn't even get somebody to pay me that for a website, 10,
right,
15 years ago. But
right,
then I started to do something called affiliate marketing, which is another type of e-commerce, where you
Yes.
have other people who buy into what you're selling and they sell for you, and you give them a commission. And if the
Right.
commission is fair enough, they will put all the work in for you, and you would just receive a smaller cut. But the
Right.
aggregate sales from all of your affiliates would obviously give you a lot of revenue.
Right.
And in the first month of redesigning and enhancing the website, we started to see sales come in, and I was basically spending about an hour a day on the site, and I would be seeing like loads of sales. And when my
Right.
first check came from in those days, I was using ClickBank. They're still
Right.
around,
They're
one
still
of the
around.
top affiliate marketing platforms still. And when my first check came in and it reached in the mail, and I was like, well, this is real.
It
And I was
changed.
like,
It changes
hey,
you.
mom, look at this. This is real. And they were like, so every week they were like, no, like, what's that check looking like? You know? And and so digital has a lot of benefits, and there are a lot of different types of digital sales you can do. My
Yes.
example was just basically,
Yeah.
um, oh, one second. I think I just clicked something. So my example was basically just selling an ebook. That's
Right.
one example. But
Yeah.
there are many other types
There's a
of digital
lot.
content and
Yeah.
digital solutions, as well as digital consultation that you can
Yes.
provide. Because at the end of the day, people just want to find someone who can solve a problem for them. So if there's a
Correct.
problem and you have the expertise, I'm sure there's somebody that's willing to pay you for it.
Correct. Correct.
And if you can do that and you can turn it into a digital product and find a way to actually accept a payment, and you don't really need to build a whole website. I mean, there are tools out there, especially on Buzz, like K-Link.
Yes.
You just, you
Yes.
create a link, you shoot it out there on whatever channel that you have, WhatsApp, and then you can collect a link, collect the money from that link.
Yes.
And so there's no excuse to kind of be like, well, I can't accept payments online and I can't get that money in my bank account. There are now tools, and you just need to look at where you find those tools. And then you just spend some time learning how to, hone your talent online. And there's a lot of, I mean, we live in an age where YouTube could teach you anything
Correct.
and Google could show you anything. So why not take advantage of those opportunities that we just didn't have? Like when I was coming up, I had an encyclopedia.
Right. Now we have Google.
Look through those books to find information, whereas
Yeah.
now there's Google and there's Wikipedia and all these tools that we can use to learn really fast and get
Yeah.
ahead. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Steph, we are going to close that section because we need to get into the premiere of your new tool. But before we get into that, we're going to take a quick break. We are going to thank our lovely sponsors. First and foremost, Buzz. Stefan, I always shout you out. I thank you for joining me on this journey. Eastern Flow, once again, thank you for joining me on the journey. We're going to take a quick break, and right after, we're going to dive into the live demonstration of the new tools from Buzz. See you in a moment.
Good stuff.
Stay connected and entertained with broadband bundles designed for you. With Flow starter and advanced plans, you can enjoy faster speeds to stream more of what you love. Get free access to the best shows, series, and movies with HBO Go. And connectivity on the go with free Flow Wi-Fi. Packages start from as low as $295 and no contract required. Visit discoverflow.co to sign up today. Flow, keeping you connected.
Sharing your goals, helping you find your place in the world. Eastern gratitude, holding your hand, leading the way, here for your needs, making sure that you succeed. Eastern's lending a hand, Eastern together, we're leading the way. Eastern Credit Union, leading the way.
All right, so we are back. Listen, if you guys are here, because we're across We're across multiple channels. We have quite a bit of people inside this live episode. But you guys need to let me know that you are here. I need to see some fire. I need to see some 100s. Let me know that you guys are in here. Let me know if we're going good. Let us know if the information being received tonight is that key of information you have needed. Maybe it's that bit of motivation to finally get started on digital payments. Nonetheless, let me know that you guys are inside this chat tonight. Drop the fireworks, drop the 100s. Let me and Steph know if we are going good. Right now, we are gearing up to do the premiere of the new tool from Buzz. Like I said, that is going to be able to replace websites and get you guys paid and start showcasing your products and services. So let me know that you guys are inside, all right? So, Steph, before we dive into that, I have a quick story for everybody, right? And everybody knows me. I'm very big on entrepreneurship, online business, because it really is the path to freedom. And you can get started with almost next to nothing. It was about 2 years ago, just over 2 years ago, 2018, right? I had some stuff on my end that fell through the cracks, and I was like, you know what? I was having doubts in myself. I decided that maybe this entrepreneurship thing was not for me. Let me apply for a job. Let me get back into the corporate world, and let me just forget about this entrepreneurship thing. And I applied to one place. I applied to the company called Webgold. And I had this wonderful meeting with Steph. We had this amazing time, this amazing discussion. And ultimately, I didn't get the job. And I was like, Steph, why did I not get this job? Like, I was perfect to create content. And Steph, 2 years ago, you told me something. And when you told it to me, I was like, wow. Because you seen something that I didn't see. Why didn't you hire me, Steph? 2 years ago, I needed a job, damn it. How come I didn't get hired?
Well, to be honest, I think you were destined to go on this journey, and I think when we saw you, we saw the type of capability of an entrepreneur, and we felt as though if we took you, we'd be stifling your growth. And when we look at it now, and I think I actually mentioned that to you some time back. When we actually worked on a B-Mobile conference about a year ago, and that's when we started to see the true energy shine from you. And then probably about a few months ago we spoke. And it's like look at where you're at now. Yeah. And most likely when you go into a job, your path changes for good. You may not have ever gotten out of that environment, and I think here now is where you're actually probably in your own element, in your true calling. So I think these things happen for reasons. We wanted to, when you think about our product, we wanted to launch this earlier, but we're here now, and we're still putting some final tweaks in, and everything happens for this reason, and we're on this pathway. And I always believe that nothing happens before its time, as well as nothing happens beyond its time. So I think it's just about the right timing for everything. Yes. And now we're able to do collaborations as business partners and peers, as opposed to necessarily as employees and employer and so forth. So I think there's a lot of growth opportunity going forward as well with the relationship. So it's good.
Perfect. And I bring up that story because there's always people who are watching, who are in my audience, who are always doubting themselves, whether they are cut out to be a full-time entrepreneur or even a part-time entrepreneur. I've had many people reach out and say, how were you able to leave corporate and go into your own business? And the reality is that the journey is rough. There's a lot of things that, come up that are unexpected that we can't control. And, again, like I've had my situations where I've jumped back into the corporate world, right. But I've always had the mindset that, this would always be for a time because I wanted to create my own thing. And again, just being able to talk to you now and discuss a lot of things that we did, the dynamic that we have now is just amazing versus, I could have probably hated you as a boss. but I love you as a partner and as a collaborator with a lot of the things that we are doing now. You know?
Exactly. And I think for entrepreneurs, I think this piece of advice is important. I think, if you're looking to give up, sometimes that success is right around the corner. Just after that point of giving up, it's probably just around the corner, and you just need to kind of push that extra energy and put in that next step forward, and maybe you'll start to see some success. The other thing that you have to look at is every day that you put energy into your business, always make sure you end that day by adding value to the business. If you just go to do any job or do any project and you leave without adding value, then you're gonna leave with in the same position that you were in the day before. So every day try to add value to your business. And it's not a overnight success thing. I mean, the reality is that you have to put in the work. So just put in the work, believe in yourself, and remove yourself from people who don't believe in you. It's just important. And I think you'll get a lot further ahead with your ideas and with your goals and with your dreams. Just do what you have to do. And of course, believe in your passion. Don't follow the wrong things and what people tell you should follow. Follow what your heart tells you to do, because when you find your passion, and I know people say you don't work a day, you still work. But the reality is that you work and you have more enjoyment in doing that work.
Yes.
Don't let them fool you that you don't work for the rest of your life and all that crap. You still have to work.
You're working.
So,
You're working.
hours,
We're working. We're working right now.
We're working right. Exactly.
So that's beautiful. Steph, cue up your setup. Let us get into this live demonstration, and I'll let you take the wheel and showcase this brand new tool that is really going to change the market.
Yeah, I think, and just before I just start to share the screen, I just wanted to just throw in this little bit of information, because a lot of people who probably on the stream are like already have a website. They probably maybe have a sort of an off-the-shelf solution. Maybe they have a website that was built by a developer. Maybe it's WordPress. Maybe they have an e-commerce website like Shopify. And what this solution really is a platform that allows you to not have to deal with, let's say, the hassle of managing your own website, doing backups, for example, on WordPress, and so it's more along the lines of a off-the-shelf software, but we've built a lot of customizations and tools in there for you to get the look and feel that you want. And a lot of people as well in the audience probably are contemplating joining marketplaces and and putting their products in other people's hands and not having the true control of owning that data, that information, that rich reporting, and also owning your brand. You're most likely building someone else's brand. And
that's
so
a fact.
The solution that we're offering allows you to enjoy the best of both. And so, I'll start by saying that. So today we're actually going to go into, or tonight we're going to go into a small demo of Buzz Shops from the back end, and then we're going to take a look at the front end and see how it's going to work. And this is the key thing about it. When we launch this product, which is in a very short space of time, from now, you're going to be able to sign up and literally start selling in about 24 hours. It's really that simple. For those of you who want to run and on your own direct payments and stuff, you're going to probably be able to sign up and run from about 24 to 48 hours.
That's beautiful.
That's just how we're going to do it.
That's beautiful.
So let's share that screen and let's get straight into it. I'm really excited to share this demo, and I know the teams have really worked on it. So,
all right, let me know when you're up, and I will bring the audience in.
And
yes, we are live. We are seeing your screen.
Okay, great.
You see, you're probably seeing like a little window with me in it on your top right. You could close that. Yeah, there we go. We're good.
Okay, great. So basically, this is the dashboard of the Buzz shopping platform. I already went ahead and created an account with some test information, and so new merchants, new customers are going to see this very simple, intuitive sign-up process that we guide you through to kind of set up your account. And already, that makes the process of setting up an e-commerce website really easy. You create your account, you start to create your products, import or add them manually, and then you process. You continue to proceed by setting up your shipping options, your payment methods, and then of course, if you want to, you have the option to also add your own custom domain name to the
Yeah.
platform. So you get to sell on your own domain, and I'm going to show some of that today as well.
That's beautiful.
The dashboard is going to be your go-to tool for getting quick summaries of what's happening in your store, checking out your sales, your orders that you need to fulfill, and any other activity that's going on in your shop. And so you're most likely going to log in, come to this dashboard, and kind of get personalized information on what you need to do next and what orders you need to fulfill, and so forth from this area here.
Right.
And I'm just going to move straight into the left menu here, where we're currently on the dashboard. If you can see, I'm just moving to cycle through some of the features.
Okay.
And so the top menu region would mainly consist of your dashboard, your inventory, your orders, your customers, your different marketing and promotional tools, and your reporting.
Right.
So I'm going to cycle through some of these areas so we can see what type of products we can create, what sort of functionality we have under the hood. And then later on, I'm going to just hover over these two areas that you're seeing lower down, which is our web store. And today, I think I know I said we were just going to touch on the web store, but we're also going to touch on the marketplace as well. And what you might notice as well is right under the marketplace, we have the ability to add additional channels. So there are going to be more channels that you can add from Buzz that's going to make your online to offline experience even better and unified, as well as there are going to be additional third-party channels from some of our international partners. And so Buzz is going to allow you to sell not just in your local market and accept links and so forth, but also accept payments and sell across the globe. So yes, much like we do with the other partners that we have, we're going to be working with a lot of our payment service providers, as well as some of our banks, to provide additional tools and capabilities within the platform.
Perfect.
All right. And at the bottom here is where you'll manage your settings. So we'll go through some of the settings, and they're pretty simple and straightforward with a lot of instructions and help.
Yeah.
And anytime you need any additional help, we have, of course, our live help in the corner here that you could reach out to our team at any point.
Perfect.
Right. So, hey, Stephan, ask us anything about the Buzz platform. So yeah, we have people on standby to help.
Okay.
So let's go straight into it. The inventory manager allows you to manage your products, your collections, and to build your custom attributes. So when I go into my product manager, I have some just sample products set up.
Right.
Here you'd see, let's go to my enable product, the ability to manage my products, to edit my products, to duplicate, so I can quickly import products, or let's say, for example, I can create new products. And here you're seeing some of the capabilities provided by the platform, the ability to add a simple product. So that's like, a regular physical good. Maybe it's a hat that you want to sell, or maybe it's a sneakers like my store here. And you also have the ability to add a digital product. This could be like an ebook or software, or it could even be access to, maybe a video that you've created that people, maybe a tutorial and stuff like that. Right. And then of course you have a configurable product. So if you want to create like a costume, or maybe a customizable laptop that somebody has to choose options, right. Maybe this amount of RAM, 16 gigs of RAM, and maybe there's some options for how much storage in the hard disk. You can create customizable, or what we call configurable products that can be sold to your customers with ease. Right. And so I'll just jump in really quickly into the product creation process. Actually, I'll just edit a product really quickly. Okay. So we can just see some base level information. So here you can see on my right side, I can add like the pricing, as well as I can add the sale price or the markdown price. And then, I have the ability to enable or disable a product, add it to the marketplace or not. And here we have a number of features that can make your product look really rich. And when we go to the front end, you realize what I talk about. because a big part of e-commerce is the visual experience. People
Right.
can't touch your products, they can't smell or they can't taste. They're really depending on what they see and
Right.
what you write about your product. So the ability to add rich descriptions about your products and add, for example, strong imagery or videos and so forth is going to be very important. And here you can see you can add multiple images. You could even add a video preview. And I think tomorrow we're going to be doing some demos with the 3D products and so forth with one of our clients. So there's other things
Wow.
that you can add into the platform.
Right.
Lower down, you have your inventory, like your SKUs, your stock, the ability to manage back orders, and to choose how you handle the back order for the customer as well. So, allow it, but notify the customer.
Right.
And you could also choose whether some products are going to be sold individually or if they can be combined with other products.
Right.
And if you add things like variations, then you get the option to extend. Maybe you have different, the same t-shirt, but different colors and different sizes. And you could
Right.
obviously manage all of that as well in the product. So from an e-commerce standpoint, these are the key tools somebody who really wants to sell a product or multiple products online are going to need to effectively sell and to also automate that e-commerce process. Many
Right.
businesses are basically checking inventory every day, messaging one by one, and they have to, they can only sell 8 to 4.
Right.
And
Correct.
e-commerce allows you to sell 24 hours.
And I just want to clarify one thing, right? Just for the
Sure.
audience. Top right hand corner where you're seeing show and marketplace, that is separate from the Buzz shop. So this Buzz shop is one product. And then when we click on show and marketplace, that is for the marketplace that you guys are doing, correct?
Correct. So
Okay,
you can
perfect.
sell, you can go as a standalone merchant and set up your own website, manage your own website, market your own website, or you can join in the fun and experience the full Buzz marketplace platform with a lot of really, really amazing tools there as well.
And you could do both simultaneously.
And you could do both simultaneously, as well as when we add more channels, they're there, but not going to go there today. You'll be able to sell on other marketplaces as well.
From this one dashboard.
So this one dashboard is going to allow you to manage your inventory across multiple channels and platforms.
Wow. Okay.
All right, so
keep it
we're
going.
just going to go across to a couple of different tabs on the top here. So for example, the ability to do things like linked products. So I can now cross-sell or upsell. Here you can see I have my other shoes from my store as a cross-sell or as an upsell. And so that means, people who've seen this item have also looked at this item or have also purchased that item. Those type of functionalities are already built in. So you don't have to go and try to program that in your regular website that you have.
Right.
These functions are built in and you could manage these with your settings.
Right.
All right. Also too, for some of our advanced merchants, you can also set up to accept payments on a deposit.
Ooh, that's huge. That is huge.
Correct. So I could just set up the number of installments. I could set up whether or not to apply a discount if they pay early or not. If it's going to be a fixed amount or percentage. And maybe there's also a deposit or down payment for the product.
Right.
Maybe they're paying me monthly or they need to pay me weekly.
Right.
And so yeah, and it dynamically calculates the payments and it automatically charges the customer's card once the customer's accepted that they will be paying this by deposit. So these are some really advanced tools that you normally require a plugin in other platforms to be able to deliver on, and they're
Right.
pretty much built into Buzz.
So one of the biggest questions I get with Droid Island is, hey, I want that brand new, the most expensive phone in the market. It's $12,000, but do you take installments? And I'm like, no. And a lot of it's because, it's the pain to set that up, to properly do that is just something I'm not willing to do. So just seeing this built into the platform, I think is major.
Yeah, not just a pain, but also it's a very complex set of programming to be able to effectively charge the amounts of the cards and so forth. And so they're already seeing that we obviously have a lot of advanced payment capability that not too many e-commerce platforms are going to be able to talk about on the market. So the ability to tokenize cards securely and obviously we recharge the card at a future date.
Right.
And keep in mind on your standalone store, we allow your merchants as well to store and save cards.
Right.
And this is all secure as well. So it means that your customers have a faster checkout, something
Right.
that's also not available in many marketplaces or standalone
Correct.
sites as well. So
What I want to let the audience know real quick is you guys are going to have a lot of questions. Try to save the questions till the end because I want Stephan to kind of get through this, and then we'll have a rich Q&A session as soon as he's done, but we're going to let him get through this, right? So I'm seeing questions coming in. I recognize it, but we're going to get to those questions as soon as he's done the demonstration. Steph, continue.
So the next area that I'm going to go into quickly because there's a lot is the order management and the abandoned carts. And so, depending on the tier that you're on, we'll talk about the tiers later on if you would like. You can manage your abandoned carts. And of course, cart recovery is a critical thing in e-commerce. It's when somebody puts something in the cart and for some reason or the other, they just abandon it and they leave it. Right. And you want to be able to send an email or to send a notification to reach back out to them and maybe offer them a deal or maybe bring them back into remembering what they had in their cart to be able to check out and convert. So that's going to be available to some of our merchants as well. And in terms of order management, here you can see a lot of my test transactions here are in the processing stage, but there you can see we have some declined and some paid transactions. So everything is real time. It's not like you have to wait till tomorrow for somebody to email you and tell you what you've sold and start your fulfillment process. You get this data in real time, and there's a lot of rich data from the actual coming in from the customer that we provide you. So here you can see this is my the order of one of my clear cut Nikes. Of course, it's a sample product, and there's where you get to see the order breakdown, where the actual purchase came from, which is the channel Buzz Marketplace,
right,
and the fulfillment status. And of course, you can just go in there and
change it,
change your fulfillment status, putting your tracking codes, manage your delivery estimate.
Huge. That is huge.
And then the customer is automatically notified, So you can also print your invoices and all those different things like that. So once you actually go in there and make those adjustments, everything else is automated for you. So the notifications to the customer and everything is done. All right. If you need to send a refund or cancel the order, you can also manage that as well.
Right.
And for people who have maybe a larger staff base or it's a bigger than that one man show, you can always add things like notes to the order so that other staff members can log in and see. So when you look at Buzz, this also caters to multiple staff accounts with different varying levels of access, and people can obviously go in here and add some notes on the customer. And you could also there's a really nice and rich CRM built into it as well, where you can also tag your customers, manage your reviews and stuff. So let's go straight into that. So here we have, in this particular case, an order here. I think there's from Enrique, and here's where I can go in and basically add notes or add tags. So maybe this customer, my sample customer, he's a frequent shopper. I can go in there and I can.
He's a window shopper.
As a frequent shopper, just as an example. And then I can use that in my market segmentation later on and market to that particular, customer segment.
Right.
So for people who are looking at advanced e-commerce, and they know about segmentation and stuff, then this tool also has that built in. If you just want to sell products, then, this tool also can allow you. So as you realize, it's really simple to add a product, to manage orders, and to just change your fulfillment status. And of course,
but if you want to get further down the line, yes, there's a lot of really amazing tools. And you're seeing also some. I'm going to hint at some tools where you're seeing now here you can send a message. Yeah. So of course you know what that means. You can probably reach out to people in real time. But we'll get to that later on. So okay.
So beyond customers, you have a mix of promotion tools, discounts, and then of course we have some additional tools to be added later on. But even with managing discounts, and I mean, if you're a retailer, you always have a special, you always have a discount going on.
Right.
Then off the shelf, this is one of the most powerful discount configurations or discount tools that you're going to be able to use. And so, as you can see in setting up my discount, as a quick example, I can automatically generate the discount code and apply my start dates and end dates if it's a limited time discount. And here you're seeing I can create different types of discounts, fixed discounts, percentage discounts, free shipping offers, as well as buy X and get Y. And this is something that you probably will not see in too many e-commerce platforms as well. So basically we're adding more value from the start so that you don't have to go and try to figure out how to program these things as maybe a small business or a non-developer. But you can still run these really powerful campaigns just like the big guys, So we're really bringing tools to allow you to level the playing field if you want to.
Yes.
And of course you can apply those discounts to, let's say I'm just doing a percentage discount to my entire order, or maybe I want to apply it to a specific collection, and I can just choose the collection here. And of course you can see my collections just show up in real time.
Right.
Or I could choose a specific product, so like my airbender test product. And here you'd see that the code will apply 10% off on the right hand side as a summary to the airbender product. And I only want to apply this discount once per order. And maybe I want to add some more advanced usage limits or minimum purchase requirements or minimum quantity of order items before you can avail this discount.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not going to go too advanced at that, but I mean, you can easily see that for the more complex discount, you can really, run some amazing things.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So moving forward, I mean, promotions are similar to discounts, but they affect or they can be applied to the entire store or to an entire category or entire collection. So it's more of, you want to run this, site-wide promotion, and you don't want to manually add each product, or you don't want to, go into that granular process. You can simply just, blanket give a sale 50% off for the next, 10 hours. You can do that. And of course, what is e-commerce without a lot of rich reporting?
People are going to be excited to see this.
Yeah, so I'm just going to go into the snapshot. It may have some sample data. I'm not too sure because I've been testing with this account. And here you're going to see some transactional data in terms of your total orders for the period, your total sales, daily sales, average order value, recovered orders. So those are some of the most important things you're going to want to look at as an e-commerce merchant.
Right.
Of course, sales conversion is going to be important as well. So the number of views versus the number of sales or the value, and all the charts are dynamic, and you can export all the data and stuff. So you have a lot of power. And then you can also see where your shoppers are. I had a shopper, I guess, in the States, and then of course. We had 2 orders in Trinidad, probably just this past few days, perhaps. And then you also get to see a little bit more rich data going down the line.
Oh, this is beautiful.
So you start to see your top products. And if you notice right here, I'm just going to highlight it. The 30 is in orange. You can customize, your threshold for when your orders are, your stock is low. Or if it's like, almost running out, it'll turn red. And if it's good, it's going to be green. So you always know like how your stock count and your top products are in real time.
Yeah.
And here you're going to see like your cart conversion. So you're seeing now the purchases versus the people that reach checkout versus the people that actually convert and stuff like that. So So basically that's your funnel. And so these are some of the most important, pieces of data from an e-commerce standpoint. And this is just our snapshot.
Yeah.
You're going to see top devices, top browsers, traffic sources, and other things down below that, maybe we won't go into as yet. But all this data is in real time. And then when I go to the standalone, you'll realize as well, if you want even more data, you can add your Google Analytics tracking code to the platform, as well as you can add your Facebook pixel to the platform as well. And
That's
you can then,
huge.
manage all of your conversions and your click tracking and so forth in the platform.
That is huge. So just to give people an idea, so technically, you could correct me if I'm wrong, Steph, I would be able to, make a post, and that post could be promoting a product on Facebook. And it's now going to track that someone has clicked that post and has come in through Facebook, come in through a specific link. And then if that person has converted, it's going to give me that kind of whole funnel and breakdown of the funnel of where that person came and what product they purchased. Is that essentially what we're looking at?
Exactly, as well as it allows you to set up the environment for advanced campaigns like retargeting. And I'm sure, you see these ads where, they follow you around the internet and you're like, I was just talking about that,
Yes.
So then you can start to use advanced things like retargeting on Google or retargeting on Facebook display network and things like that. So you have those opportunities. And then, if you have maybe an agency, or you've tinkered with Facebook and you think like, I'm the Facebook marketing boss, then you can go in there and start to build things like your lookalike audiences based on your existing shopper.
Yes.
You could upload your customers and start building lookalike audiences and start expanding your customer reach.
That is huge. That is huge. That is huge. And for a regional platform for us to have this for us is huge.
So as you can see, people who are familiar with like a Shopify, this would be a familiar type interface.
Right.
And so it's a familiar interface, but of course it's just different tools. But the end result that we all look for in a platform is the ability to accept a payment, manage our inventory, and make the customer journey very, very good. And so from an experience standpoint, we've laid out the platform in a way that you could navigate through it really simply. Here's my inventory, here's my orders, here's my customers. This is a process to manage fulfillment. I want to do things like marketing and reporting, then I kind of go down below. And then these are basically areas where you just set things up and you manage a couple of different settings depending on what tools you have available to you. Right. So most times when you set up a Buzz account, there are going to be some areas down below in your settings that you want to set up. And that I'm going to get to, but I just want to kind of share, these are the things that you normally set up. And once these things are set up and running, you would go into either your web store or your marketplace and get it set up. And it looks like a long list of stuff, but it's really simple. I just touch on one thing really easily. This just allows me to specify, do I get notifications in the app or do I get it sent to my email address?
Right.
And, maybe I want to find out when, the order is updated by one of my staff, or maybe I want to manage an incoming order, so I want to get notified via my email or whenever I'm on the go. So I could set all those things up from here.
Right. Before we move to the front end of the website, to show people the front end, how does this shipping work? Like, what are some of the shipping partners, or how does the shipping work with the platform?
Okay, so far, Buzz has integrated. From a technical standpoint, or from the standpoint where there are available APIs, we've integrated DHL, FedEx, and UPSL. And I think UPSL is one of the more popular local shippers. Yeah. And we also have the ability for you to set up your own manual shipping. Like say you want to handle delivery on your own, or let's say you work with a third party, there's a lot of delivery companies, but they don't have maybe like technological connections that we can connect to, like APIs, application programming interfaces. So because there's no connection, we can't provide like real-time stuff. So we only can really work with companies that have real-time integrations, which means if there are companies out there that are interested in connecting with Buzz and there's a real-time API that we can connect to, then, you could always send us an email and we'd be more than willing to look at it and see how we can help you connect your customers to our platform to ensure that there's proper fulfillment. Beautiful. So I'll just go to that really quickly so we can get it out of the way while we're on the topic. So here, and for my shipping service, I've just enabled this UPSL product. but you could easily say I can connect my FedEx, and I can enable shipping, or I can allow pickup, and I can set my pickup locations. I'm shipping from my office location here in St. James, and I could always also just add new shipping zones. So right now my shipping is just for Trinidad and Tobago for today's test, but I can
Right.
go in here and just specify a new country. Let's say you know Barbados,
Right.
and I can just add that to my system and set up the different price-based rates, or if it's weight-based rates. And once I set those things up, it's as simple as adding it to the system, and we have the ability to ship.
That's beautiful.
And
That
those
is
options
beautiful.
also become available in the front end for the customer, and you'll see that in a little while.
Okay.
So shipping is really simple to set up, and if you're doing international, there's FedEx. For this demo, I think the UPS is disabled, and I know there's also, I think there's UPS, DHL, and shipping. But currently, we're actually just testing and working with FedEx and UPSL for this build. So going
Okay.
into the web store.
Yes. Let's get to that
this-
front because I know people are excited to see what it looks like for the consumers.
Yeah, I think everybody's excited for that. So basically, I go into my web store and I have a couple options I'm going to go into quickly before we load that website. And here's where we manage our themes. And currently, I have these themes installed on my platform, but there are more themes available in the theme store. And so right now, I'm running on this theme called Simple, and that's a theme I'm going to demo today. But there are other themes that have multiple configuration options once you enable it. So once I enable a theme, I'm going to have the ability to customize it in different ways, add my sliders and my logos and my favicons and stuff. And so let's say, for example, I was using a different theme. Let's say maybe the super theme. You would have the ability to change the headers and the footers and the layouts and the different blocks and so forth.
Right.
And and then you could also manage your navigation. So where your header is going to go and what's in it, and you could also manage your footer links and how that's going to look. And then of course you can always add your own blog to enhance your SEO. And maybe I'll just share with you where you manage and set up your SEO and your favicons and all those different things in a little while as well. This is what I was talking about earlier with the key SEO, which is your title and meta description, and of course your pixel IDs and your Google Analytics code. So once those things are set, and like I said, for more advanced users, they'll probably be using things like this.
Yep.
Then you're pretty much ready to go. You add your pages, you add any blog that content that you want to set up, and and then of course you can add your custom domain name. Like right now, this is my shop location, but I could also add a custom domain name. And once I add that custom domain name, I'm ready to pretty much go. And of course, once I set up my shop, I add my products, and I choose my theme.
Yeah.
I can just click visit website or visit my test website, and I'm gonna pretty much end up with a website that probably looks like probably like this. Right, so this is the theme I'm working with today. It's called Simple, and as you can see, I've already set up my slider for this demo,
This is very clean.
and I have my products that are set up as well, and then I have my built-in cart at the bottom.
Right.
And here's where we saw we could set up discount codes, so all that's dynamic.
Right.
Customers can add their codes there. And of course, I can manage my cart and add products to my cart right here. And I think we were talking about cross sells and upsells.
Yeah.
And also we were talking about shipping. So while we're down here, let me just click the calculate shipping, and I'm gonna ship to Dick & Martin. I see I already had it set for you.
Yeah.
And once I click update, it's gonna pull that UPSL shipping that we have enabled.
Wow.
If I had other shipping set up or any other service set up, it would also pull that and give me as an option to choose. and then I
Yeah.
can proceed to check out or visit my cart and stuff like that.
And it works the same way when you're putting it to other countries.
Yes. So if you have another country and you have shipping set up for that country, then the customer will just choose the country that they have set up, and then the shipping options will be available for that particular country once they're set.
That's perfect. So all of you people selling, so Christmas is coming. The States people need poncha creme. They need their Trini snacks, their goods. You guys need to get up on this.
All right. And of course, when you set up a Buzz shop and your customer buys from you, they get their own full, account with wish list management, order management. If you're selling digital downloads, you also have access. They have access to that. They can manage their address book, their payment methods, their personal account details and profiles. I'll show you some of those things really quickly as well. I have some stuff in my cart. Let's just pretty much see how we could probably check those things out. This is one of the product detail pages, and as you can see below, you may also like this other product I have.
Yeah.
And here you can share your stuff on social media, add more products to your cart, add stuff to your wish list. So I'll just add it to my wish list there, and it's really that simple. It's really fluid, really intuitive. We have these nice pop open galleries. We can cycle products through and so forth, videos, and there's a lot of features.
Right.
And all right, so I just have a couple different additional products in my feed here, related products that I added just for testing.
Yeah.
And then I could obviously proceed to checkout. All right, and here you can see, in usual Buzz style, my shipping details are already stored here.
Right.
And here, if I had multiple products, and then, for example, maybe this product doesn't ship via UPSL, maybe it ships only with another provider, then you could also choose shipping on an individual product basis if the merchant has set it up that way as well.
Wow.
Here you see my save cards. Yeah, you could go ahead and try. They're all secured, and it means that the next time I come, like now, I already have my shipping information, my billing information set up. My card's chosen as default. And I can easily quickly just check out. And here, all my stuff is calculated, and I can just basically confirm my order.
That's huge.
All right, and then, if I go to my dashboard, you would see here's where my orders would be, and some of my wish list items, my troll product as well. You can probably see that too. All right, and then you can manage your orders, your wish list, your digital products, your payment methods, and so forth. So it's pretty straightforward e-commerce, but if you have a different theme, then your website is of course going to look really different. So this is just one of the things. And also too, the functionality may be slightly different as well in terms of the display of maybe collections and so forth.
This is going good. Listen, if you guys are tuned in, I'm seeing a lot of people live right now. Let me know that you guys are here. If you are liking what you are seeing, please give us some fireworks. Let us know that you are here. You like what you see. Listen, this is really, really good stuff. Stephan's going to continue, but I need you guys to drop some fireworks in the chat right now for me. Let me know that you guys are still with us. Steph, continue.
Great. So, we've seen some of the functionality with the standalone website, and that means that you can run it on your own domain. Once you set up your website, it doesn't matter if you're on Marketplace or standalone. You get it has free SSL built in, so it's all secured immediately. Your auto-assigned SSL, you can start selling one time, and then of course we have the Marketplace. I'm just giving a small tease. Still have a lot of things under the hood, and I'll just in giving that tease, I'm just gonna say that social commerce is gonna be a thing, and you might see some things there that might actually be an indicator to how we're gonna do that social commerce.
I love
so of course the marketplace is a different kind of beast. So you're gonna have a dashboard, and you're gonna see the ability for customers to join and follow you, and you'll also be able to get your stats and stuff here. And we're also gonna have some some markets that you can join, as well as the ability to customize, how people see your shopfront. And I want to just go straight into the shopfront. I already have mine open up here in one of these windows.
Right.
Actually, I don't have mine open actually, so I'm gonna open mine. One second. And so this is basically my my marketplace version of my standalone website. So the layout is of course built for the marketplace. It still looks really, really well polished. Everything is very, very, it loads very fast. We're running on some blazing fast servers. Customers can come to your marketplace site. They can follow you, and once they follow you, they get updates when you add new products or when you have new offers.
Right. Wow.
And on the marketplace, there's some channels that we didn't enable, but of course, I guess I'm teasing it here. You're gonna be able to chat in real time with your customers. We're gonna roll that out a little bit later on, and you can push products straight to the chat that they can buy. It's really that simple. Really powerful tools.
This is really good. So just so people understand, the Buzz Shops is kind of like having your own website, but the marketplace is like you guys have essentially allowed people to take their shop and put it on, say, like an eBay or an Amazon, and it's synced together, so you can sell you can sell simultaneously to these two different styles of platforms.
So yeah, so Buzz is going to run its own marketplace, and we're going to have a lot of tools for sellers to be able to sell effectively. We're going to be able to run individual and combined promotions, and also too, we're going to have a lot of support services that allow sellers to really push their brand, and also really capitalize on seasonal promotions in very, very unique ways that I'm not even at liberty to say right now.
I like the sound of that.
And of course, with this marketplace component, it means as well that you can also, at the same time, be getting sales off of Buzz's marketing efforts, as well as your own standalone marketing efforts. So that's the true power of it. And I mean, if you look at what's on the market right now, we've ensured that customers have a truly customizable experience, a really rich visual experience. And I'm just going to switch over to my product manager's store. That's Enrique, who manages the product for us and handles a lot of the finishing touches. And you're going to see this is his store on the marketplace. So he has the featured banners that all link to different categories and so forth. And then he has his own categories of products. And of course, like I said before, we can filter by section and things like that. So keyboards and mice, it's all, everything is just happening in real time. It's really fast, no slow loading. And then of course, as we dive into, I'll just come back to my shop really quickly.
This is really good, man.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is because we're so accustomed to we see platforms come out and you look at it and you're like, yeah, that looks like it was built in the Caribbean. That looks like it was built in Trinidad. This looks like it. You are set up to compete on the international stage.
Correct. So we've been working on this for a few years actually. And we meant to roll it out earlier, but like I said, it's to push it to the level where it's at an international standard and to really put our product where we want it to be. We wanted to put a little bit more love into it. And so we took the time. We didn't rush it to market, and we know when it drops, it's going to make moves in the market,
Yes.
And so we hope, the market is ready to make space for it, pretty much. And so, I mean, coming back to the whole, platform setup and platform management from the e-commerce standpoint, like I said before, as you start to sell, let me just go to the orders. You would start to realize that, you'll be able to see,
Oh, that is beautiful.
Where your come from.
That is
So
beautiful.
you see, like we have the marketplace orders and the web store orders, and then if you have more channels, you'll also start to see those channels. And so then coming back to the customer segments now, you start to see where your new customers are, where your returning customers are, where your Buzz marketplace customers are, where your shops customers are, and maybe just your subscribers, people who just subscribe for email updates and so forth, you know?
Wow.
So segmentation is key, and it's really some, you know, advanced things that allow you to really understand who your buyers are and where they're coming from, especially when you combine that with Google Analytics,
Yes.
so forth, you know.
This is huge.
So this is what we're really excited to drop, and I think, you know, we're going to be looking at a launch towards the end of next month, and also too we're going to be looking at providing early access to some of our merchants as early as next month itself. So there's some early access links afterwards that we'll share with y'all. So Keron, you have the links to the early access sign up, and you're going to be able to sign up for early access and get a head start in setting up and preparing your shop for launch, as well as get access to our teams who would help you with providing and with producing quality visuals to make sure your shop looks really rich, so that you can really sell online effectively in a really polished way. So, you know, our goal is to make sure people sell properly,
Yeah.
and to make sure that people actually get true value out of the product. And so we put a lot of effort into ensuring people have this off the start.
That's perfect. Steph, just verbally tell us the link to sign up on, because I'm going to drop it on my platforms afterwards.
Okay, let me just get that for you. One sec. So the link is going to be buzz.tt/shops-early-access. So Buzz Shops is going to be at buzz.tt/shops-early-access.
Perfect. So I'm going to be dropping that on my platforms after, so you guys can go and check out. But you guys could at least make note of that so you guys can check it out. So Steph, is there, and Rachel Ann, thank you for putting that out there in the chat for us. What is there any last thing you need to show us? Because what we need to do is cut to a break so we can get into the Q&A session, because I know there's gonna be a lot of questions about this that we need to get to.
Last things I can show. I think we've kind of touched on some of the key areas that we wanted to focus on.
Perfect.
Perhaps people probably want to just see that whole checkout process. Let me see if I could just switch back to one of these shops that I have open.
All right, no problem. So you guys are getting a full demo, or a really nice demo of this platform. And I really hope, if you guys are enjoying what you're seeing, let me know in the chats. Like I said, drop the fireworks, drop the 100s. Let me know if you guys are really liking what you guys are seeing from the team over at Buzz. So right now we're checking out some of those kicks that you added to your cart.
Okay, 1 second. Sure, I selected it.
So we're getting people in the chat letting us know that they are really liking what they're seeing, you know. And just to let everybody know, right now this is a behind the scenes look. They still are going to be polishing this entire platform up and getting it ready for the market, because listen, when this drops and when you guys start to sign up, this is really going to allow you guys to really hit the international stage with a polished product. And you see, with the logistics included and the payments included, they have really taken a lot of the headache out from you having to go to multiple companies, multiple areas to get this thing working. This is going to be a thing of beauty. And you see, right now with COVID, being able to participate in the global market is going to be huge for every single business to be able to survive. Because maybe things, if you're just focusing on just your country alone, if you're in the Caribbean, maybe things are slow in your market. But what's going to happen is you don't want to be reliant on just your market. You want to be able to say, okay, you know what? Right now, things are tough in Trinidad. People maybe are not buying shoes, but guess what? In Yugoslavia, they're COVID free. They're partying. They want shoes. Let me go and sell my stuff to those people over there.
All right, I think that we got in some sort of a slight technical issue, which is obviously expected sometimes.
No worries. So why don't we
just
go
check
ahead?
it out, and probably towards the end of the show, I'll just run that checkout again.
No worries. So what we're gonna do, Steph, is we're gonna cut to a break, and we're gonna come back with a Q&A session. And if you get it up, we could probably demo the checkout.
Sure.
But let us go cut to that break. We got people that have questions. So what I need you guys to do now is start to drop your questions in the chat now so we can get to them and get those questions answered for you. So if you have any questions on e-commerce, if you have any questions about Buzz Shops, start to drop them in the comments so that we can get those things answered for you, all right? Stick around. We're going to be right back after this quick commercial break.
Stay connected and entertained with broadband bundles designed for you. With Flow starter and advanced plans, you can enjoy faster speeds to stream more of what you love. Get free access to the best shows, series, and movies with HBO Go. And connectivity on the go with free Flow Wi-Fi. Packages start from as low as $295 and no contract required. Visit discoverflow.co to sign up today. Flow, keeping you connected.
Sharing your goals, helping you find your place in the world. Eastern gratitude, holding your hand, leading the way, here for your needs, making sure that you succeed. Eastern's lending a hand, Eastern together, we're leading the way. Eastern Credit Union, leading the way.
All right, and we are back for the final segment of this show. All right, so let us get right in to the Q&A. Are you guys ready? I know I'm ready. I'm seeing the questions coming in. Remember, drop your questions in. I have 2 questions from social media. Then we're going to be going to the live audience. All right, so tickers up. The time has started as we wrap up this last segment. And the first question that is brought to us by the team over at Buzz. The first question from social media is, what sort of data should we pay attention to when managing our e-commerce business, Steph?
I think you want to look at your customer buying patterns, also to your demographics. Where are these customers coming from? And what type of products they're buying. So what are my top sellers? So then you have a handle on what you should be restocking and what you should be probably pre-purchasing so that you can't run out of stock too often on it. Because of course, if somebody wants to buy something today with e-commerce, if you don't have it, they're gonna go somewhere else.
Right.
So keep looking at your stock levels, what your customers are buying, and also to where they're coming from, because that helps you to figure out where you need to target your advertising. So for example, right now as Webgold and like Buzz, our top customers are coming from Panama, Costa Rica, Jamaica, Cayman Islands, and Bermuda. Of course, Trinidad is part of that, but we've seen Trinidad move down to probably third place in terms of requests for our services, and now
Right.
Latin America, Central America is kind of like in the front.
Right.
Maybe other like countries like Guatemala and Brazil is lower down that pipeline right now. So if you know your top customers and where they come from and what they like, then you're able to now adjust and tweak your marketing and your products and services to suit their needs, and also to start figuring out, well, what are they going to like or want next.
Right.
And you're always ahead of the curve and really trying to grow your business by adding more of what your customers going to want based on what they have wanted in the past. Hope that answers the question.
Perfect. All right, our second question coming in from social media. This question is brought to us by the good folks over at Eastern Credit Union. Steph, what are some of the benefits to creating digital products versus physical products?
Okay, so I touched on this earlier. I could touch on it over and over again. The thing that we can do, the best thing that in terms of a benefit is that you don't really have to go on and physically ship the goods.
Right.
And so there's no lead time between somebody purchasing and it's shipping, and then you having to wait to get confirmation that they've received the product. And there's in case of returns, there's no stress with returns. The digital product delivers, they like it or they don't. Maybe there's a 30-day guarantee on it, and it's fast. The other thing about it is that it just takes your creativity to create the product versus having to go and source products, source wholesalers, ship the product in, let it get delayed in customs, let some people charge you 7% because maybe you shipped it air freight. You come up with this idea, you put it online, and literally 95% most times of the revenue is yours, and it's instantly there. The other major advantage of a digital product is that you most times can build it once and make money off of it over and over.
Right.
So it's like an evergreen type resource. It keeps on, coming back up and giving you money. Whereas with a physical product, you got to buy more or make more to sell more. So digital products have unique advantages, as well as they can reach really, really far
Right.
and appeal to global or wider audiences with ease.
Perfect. All right, so those were our questions from social media. We're going to be coming to you live in the audience now. If you are watching us from LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, whatever platform you're tuning in from, drop your questions in. We're getting to you guys now. So, Steph, the very first question from the live audience comes in from Lynn Charisse. And Lynn is asking, is Buzz a responsive website as well? Can it be viewed on mobile and tablets?
Okay, so the answer to that is yes. Buzz is responsive, as well as if you were looking at the demo just now, you'd notice that it's super responsive to clicks and so forth. So the speed of the website as well is optimized for mobile. So you'd find that the performance would be great, and we're also on really. I mean, I don't know what the market is doing right now, but I mean, we can run some tests down the road. There's nothing that's going to perform like Buzz, pretty much. And you can take it from a company that's hosting a lot of websites across the region for the most demanding, as well as and I don't mean demanding in a bad way, for some of the people watching on the stream, but in terms of website load. And for purpose, I mean, we're running and hosting bank sites and hotel websites and things that get a lot of traffic.
Right.
And Buzz is right up there in terms of performance. It's right up there in terms of uptime, and it's really up there in terms of security. So not just only is it mobile friendly, but it's also high performance and highly resilient. And so, you don't have to worry about losing your data and all that stuff. Maybe if you're running your WordPress website, you have to go in there and back it up every week or every day. And of course, for e-commerce, you don't necessarily want to miss your backups, because then, if you lose data, you're losing customer history.
Right, correct.
So
correct.
So we
Perfect.
saw that with Buzz.
Perfect. So we're going to fly through some of these questions because the questions are coming in hot and heavy. All right, so next question is from, I'm going to butcher the name, Miss Cummings. We'll just leave it at that. Is there a costing to get a shop, Steph?
Well, there is going to be a cost to get the shops, but because this product is targeted to SMEs, they're going to be tiered pricing. Of course, like any other platform, we have to pay for bills under the hood, so we have to charge a fee. But you're going to soon, I think when we drop the pricing, it's going to start from as low as free. It's really that simple. So it's going to have a freemium tier where you can start off with maybe a small shop, and once you work your way up to like a larger size shop, or maybe you want to start off with a base set of features.
Right.
And as you start to add some of those features or extensions that we're going to add to the platform, then maybe those features will come at a greater cost. And so I hope that answers the question. But if you think about it comparatively, it's going to be in the same kind of affordable range that maybe any other platform that you're looking at right now from an international standpoint. We're going to be comparative pricing to that.
Perfect. All right, next up comes from Nikisha Francis. Nikisha wants to know, can we accept the new Scotiabank and FCB debit cards?
So to answer that question, I guess I'm going to have to say yes. These cards are already activated for local e-commerce use.
Stress on the local.
What's that?
I said we stress on the local.
Yeah. And maybe in another talk, we could talk about why it's going to just be that for now. I mean, we obviously know one of the major reasons is the US, but there are other reasons and other factors when you get a license to operate a card from Visa. So we won't talk about that here, but yes, you can. It will support those cards, and it will support other methods as well.
Perfect. Next, Diane Squires. She is asking, will this be available with all the features across the region at launch?
Okay, so the answer to that question is yes. When we launch, this platform the features will be available to everybody. So it's not like, okay, well, some features in Trinidad, other features elsewhere. But what I would say is, from a payment standpoint, this platform uses multiple payment gateways.
Right.
So it's kind of different to what you're accustomed to from a local standpoint. So if you want to use your own payment gateway, you can, and it's available in the platform, you can. And so maybe what might be different is the card acceptance, because in some countries there are more cards available for swipe than in others. So maybe, and so, just off the bat, I guess I could say that, FAC is going to be in there. And so, immediately we have access to about maybe 30 markets there already. Right. And so the card acceptance will be different in each market based on the bank relationship. Right. But we work with pretty much all the banks in any case, so we can help you with that. Doesn't matter if you're in Jamaica or if you're in Costa Rica, we can help you when that time comes if you're using FAC. And, just to hint it, we're bringing probably 2 other gateways to the market as well. One in the French-speaking islands and one in the Cayman Islands as one of our other development partnerships. So, and that's just the regional gateways. There are about 3 key gateways in the region, and we're all going to be connected to them. And then, of course, we have the big gateways and the big partnerships, as well as our financial partnerships that are going to allow us to extend not only payment services, but support services for small businesses. And we spoke about that, but
we got to do another episode on that.
Might have to have an 18th episode for this one.
Yeah, now we're going to have to do another episode for that. So let's move on to the next question, right? Next question comes in from Puresh Patel. He asked, what are the customer loyalty options?
Okay, so customer loyalty, I think from that standpoint, we don't actually have that module in this build. But I know in the next 4 to 5 months, we're going to be rolling out a lot of new features. And so one of those features would be the rewards and points, just to talk about it, as well as the ability to generate your own gift cards.
Right.
And so people can actually purchase gift cards on behalf of other people. Now, the true strength of Buzz is that you can buy a gift card and from Buzz in general, and it can be applied to any shop that's in our marketplace or any shop that's standalone once the merchant has subscribed to that Buzz partnership gift card program. So there are a lot of things that are under the hood that will be rolled out down the road. But keep in mind that it's modular, and over the period of the next 5 months, every month we're going to be rolling out new modules and new features that are currently in train. And so yeah, if I'm permitted to share the screen, I may just, I'm not talking about now, but maybe towards the end, maybe I'll just show you where that would happen. But if not, I think, in next episode, you'll see where the gift cards are, and built into the customer experience, they already have in their dashboard the ability to see where the gift cards would be. So it's coming.
No problem. Next question comes in from Sheldon. Sheldon's asking, how do you handle refunds?
Okay, so refunds are handled through the system. If you are managing the payments with your own gateway, then you're able to process the refunds directly based on on your transactions and your need to process the refund. And also, if you have a standalone shop, you also have the ability to set up your own refund policies, your own payment policies, and so forth. Refunds on the marketplace are handled through a Buzz process. So it's sent in as a request, and based on the reasons and so forth, then we work with our merchants and work with our customers to see how best to resolve issues. So there's a capability in there to handle refund processes and to log the reasons, and also to track the customer experience and the merchant experience. So there's a rating and review process as well that allows both parties to review and rate themselves, so that merchants aren't unfairly picked on, as well as customers aren't unfairly treated by merchants who don't want to provide refunds or don't want to provide returns and so forth.
Right.
And also there's just one more thing. There's an algorithm as well that would bump companies who provide better refund support, maybe longer refund periods, and better overall support. So the better the customer experience and the higher the rating, the better your shop is going to do.
Perfect. Next question comes in from Adrian. Adrian's asking, can we link any affiliate systems?
So not at this point. And if there's any affiliate system to happen at this point, I would say you might see a Buzz affiliate system.
Gotcha.
So at this point, I think we want to start off with the key integrations and the key extensions.
Yeah.
And that we believe that based on feedback that people would need, and then we would take new feedback on systems that need to be added down the road.
Perfect. Now this is a question. I know I asked this early. Well, when we had our meeting. This question comes in from Anissa. Anissa asks, does the website work with drop shipping plugins, and if so, which ones?
All right, so this is a question that we've spoken about, and I can say it's as simple as this. So we're gonna be dropping the drop shipping plugin most likely before the end of the year. It's really that simple. Local merchants, regional merchants are going to be able to connect to the most powerful foreign product tool. I'm not going to call the name here yet. Keron, you know about it, you're laughing. And we actually have a partner that we're going to integrate with that's going to make that whole process automated. And you're going to be able to sit down here, sell products that are shipped automatically across the world, and generate your revenue. And for merchants that are exclusively drop shippers, and if you have a foreign currency bank account, especially in Trinidad and Tobago, we're going to drop that money in your account in US dollars.
I love it. I love it.
So yeah, it's coming.
All right. So I'm just scrolling through. I'm trying to get everybody to at least ask one question in. Next question comes in from Reynardo. Reynardo is asking, so I as a retailer can set this up as long as I have a merchant account from any TT commercial bank, example RBL, RBC, FCB, or Scotia?
Yeah, you can. Any of the local banks, if you're in Trinidad and Tobago, which would be about 5 banks currently. If you have a merchant account, if you already have one and maybe you have another platform and you want to switch to Buzz, that's also an option. And we have teams who could help you switch and migrate your store as well. We have teams who could help you with your product updates and things like that. So I mean, we make the process very easy for if you have a merchant account. And if you don't have a merchant account, you're welcome as well. We have Buzz payments built in, and we can still support you. So not to worry.
Perfect. I'm going to take 2 more questions before we close out the session tonight, because it's been 2 hours already, Steph.
Yeah, it's a long one.
Yeah. All right. Lorraine asks, if you already have a WordPress theme, could this be uploaded, or is this limited to Buzz themes, or can we have a mix of WordPress and Buzz shops?
All right. So this one is kind of funny because I'm sure Enrique, Nathan, who's here with me tonight, is going to be laughing. So basically, it's a long and short answer, but the short answer is, if there's a theme that you have or that you want built into Buzz and it's not there, because we are using native Buzz themes, our support team can actually integrate it for you. Maybe depending on how complex it is, it might come at a small cost. But it doesn't matter what theme you need to have in Buzz, we can get it integrated for you. So if it's a WordPress theme and we are able to connect with the styles, and we can port your theme across to it. And if it's like your own theme, and once the code is good, and we review it, and our team can basically look at it and say, okay, yeah, maybe it's something we can work with. But for the most part, we have a few themes available at launch, and every month we'll be adding new themes to that. And then I think, as the platform grows, it's still in its infancy stages, we're going to open it up for developers to be able to go in there and add their own themes and stuff.
So if we decide, we've already built our platform on WordPress, but we love your shop, we could take your shop and pretty much drop it onto our WordPress, and that way it works both ways?
So I wouldn't say you can drop it onto WordPress, but I mean...
As a link
yeah,
to
so you're gonna probably be able to do that by linking it or embedding it, and so maybe we'll see some other big name integrations and official integrations as well, where that's concerned. We spoke about it before, but maybe we'll just be kind of low key today. What we're going to be doing is making sure that the themes that we have are working functional, highly functional and working well. And if you want to bring your themes and so forth, like I said, they may be accosted because, of course, it's development time, and our developers will be able to put it in for you. And then, of course, beyond that, you're going to be able to obviously, just like how you can use Paylinks and embed it, you can obviously, embed your site into another platform. Maybe it doesn't support e-commerce, but you need to have it e-commerce driven. You already built it on something else. You're going to be able to plug the key features into it using Buzz. So hope that answers the question.
Perfect. Steph, we are going to close out on that note. Tonight has definitely been a long one. There has been a lot of information and insights that you have shared, and I want to thank you for taking the time not only to support the digital age, but for you to take the time and come on and offer some of your insights on the topic of e-commerce.
Thank you. Thank you for having me tonight. And it was really a lot of fun, having the conversation about e-commerce, as well as, getting into this demo. We're super excited. We're constantly building out the platform. And of course, it's now starting to build out the whole marketing and support system for it, which also includes, studio support. As you know, we have the studio, so merchants are also going to have the ability to use our studio for product photography, video photography for products.
It's a
so
full solution you're offering.
Yeah. So we have the e-commerce studio set up in Trinidad. Probably reach out to other partners in the region to help those other merchants on other islands. And so quality is going to be key for us, and of course customer experience. And as you can see, the experience itself is very fluid, very powerful. So we're looking forward to getting this into the hands of a lot of people, and And so when we launch, we're also going to be running a lot of nice, interesting promotions. And we have a lot of those people running those custom shops. Let's say we have a big bank of free 1-year domain names. And we have a lot of codes for Facebook advertising and for Google advertising and stuff like that. So get ready to join the e-commerce revolution. Get ready to join that digital age, and take your business online. It's really where your business needs to be, and we're gonna help you to get there. Thank you.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Steph, I want to thank you once again for coming in. Listen, the time is now, and guys like yourself, Webgold Buzz, you guys have such a crucial role to empower the region, give us the tools to be able to take our businesses online, and the education, the insights that you have shared is going to, I'm sure there's going to be many people who have taken some of that, taken their notes, and they're going to be logging onto the platform right now, trying to figure out how to get online. But, how do I go from, instead of just cooking the food, to, taking your advice and start thinking about the digital product behind cooking,
Yeah.
So I want to thank you again. All right.
Okay, great.
So,
Thank you.
yes. Steph, give me 1 quick second. Oh, man. Listen, tonight was the longest episode of the entire season. That was because we have been planning this reveal for the Buzz shops and the Buzz marketplace for a couple of months now. And I really hope that you guys are looking at it and licking your chops and thinking to yourself that, if there was ever a time to start transitioning your business to include an e-commerce model, or maybe you go full e-commerce, the time is now. COVID is here. It's not going anywhere. I say this all the time, but that's the reality of the situation right now. We have never had the amount of tools that we do today. We've never had this before. So now is the time to really start thinking about e-commerce, digital products. If you do have a brick and mortar, how do I create that hybrid model? And what are the tools that I need to really get paid online? It's no longer just about getting a digital presence, because you could easily jump on a Wix, a Squarespace, whatever you choose. You can easily build a presence, but now we need e-commerce. And tools like Buzz and what they're offering is going to get you there. So as we wrap up, quickly, what I want you guys to know about next week's episode is we are going to be speaking to one of the other sponsors of the digital age, and that is Eastern Credit Union. And we're going to be talking about finance for entrepreneurs. Eastern Credit Union has offered different types of facilities to facilitate these new age entrepreneurs. And we're going to be speaking to the CEO, Christopher Lewis of Eastern Credit Union, to be diving into some of the new facilities that Eastern is providing for entrepreneurs. What type of finance do entrepreneurs need to be able to succeed in the digital age? And, just talk about entrepreneurship and, how has it all changed, and what is the outlook that the financial institutions have, and how are they trying to support the new generation of entrepreneurship? So that is going to be next week, Thursday. And I hope to see you guys all next week. If you enjoyed today's episode, again, it was a long one. Drop some fire, drop some 100. Let me know in the chats if you guys enjoyed tonight's episode. Please, I thank all of you for sticking it through, for tuning in. You could have been anywhere else, but you are here with us. And we have quite a few people across all of our platforms tonight. So I want to bid you guys adieu. I will see you guys next week. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's episode. Don't forget to let us know in the comments. If you really enjoyed it, feel free to share this episode, because I'm sure there's going to be some nuggets, some information that somebody else that is within your network could use to now take them to the next level. So until next week, my name is Keron Rose, and I am going to see you guys next week for another episode of The Digital Age. Okay, bye.